All set. Good evening and welcome to the April 2nd, 2025 Selectmen Meeting for the Town of Buxton. I'll call this meeting to order at 7:01. First order of business is a Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Approval of prior meeting minutes for March 26, 2025.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? That's 5. Discussions held between 4 and 7. At 4 o'clock, our attorney came in. We went into executive session, 1 MRSA 4056E, legal, from 4 to 5:10. At 5:10, Kevin Collins, our police chief, came in. We talked about negotiations for the union. We went into executive session at 5:15, came out at 5:35, and that was 1 MRSA 406D, union negotiations. And at 5:35, Shelby St. Louis, one of the front office people, came in. And we went into an executive session with her.
Yeah.
At 5:40 to 6:05, 1 MRSA 4056A, personnel.
Probably mentioned that John Myers was in that meeting as well.
What?
Should probably mention that John Myers was in that meeting as well.
Okay. John Myers was in that meeting. Then Hunter Cox came in. We just had some discussions about some people retiring, when they were going to be. I guess it's going to be a year or so now. So they've changed their mind. So that was about it. Then we came in here. Projects and issues. Tom.
Yeah, not a lot for me. I did attend union negotiations with the police department last Thursday. We've got them just about wrapped up, but hopefully one more meeting and they'll be done.
Absolutely.
That's it for me. I was out of town the rest of the week after that.
Frank.
Not a lot for me either this week. I was in the office a little bit. I didn't make the budget committee meeting last night, and I did have a telephone conversation with Fire Chief Nate Schools on the personnel issue, and that was pretty much my week.
Yeah, so not a great big week for me. I was here at the budget committee meeting here last night. Jerry Ross, who's on the planning board, we will be appointing him tonight on the Saco River Corridor Commission. He's been reached out and was interested in doing so. And so I reached out to the Saco River Corridor, got the proper information that we needed, the proper paperwork to appoint him here this evening. So I did work on that. Also had an opportunity to speak to him about the comprehensive plan and the money allocation that was requested during the budget committee by a member of the planning board. And how, we can allocate some resources to achieve what they're trying to achieve. So that was mostly my conversation, and that was it.
Chad.
Yes, I was at the Budget Committee meeting last night. Berry Library presented, the transfer station presented their budget, and John Myers dealt with the 6 of the Buxton Cemetery Associations and the administrative budget, so we got to go through all of that. Also spoke to the fire chief today in regards to a particular billing issue, so that's what I got this week.
Okay, on Monday night, I went to the planning board meeting. They had a public hearing on some zoning and ordinance changes. Last night I was at the budget meeting. I've been working with code on getting our permit for Pleasant Point extended from Saco River corridor, because we haven't got everything done because of the water being so high the last year. So we filed a new application and got that all taken care of, so that we'll be able to hopefully do it this summer. Talked to Kevin Kimball a little bit at Public Works, and that was pretty much it for the week. Any old business?
No.
Any new business?
Do you want to talk about that?
No, with us.
Okay, executive order 2425-0401, an order approving an abatement for real estate taxes for 2025 in the amount of $359.37 for map 1A, lot 67.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? That's 4 with 1 abstaining. Executive order 2425-0402, an order approving an abatement for real estate taxes for 2025 in the amount of $387.95, map 1A, lot 117.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? That's 5. Executive Order 2425-0403, an order approving 72 hours of vacation leave for Nathaniel Schools.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? That's 5. Executive Order 2425-0404, an order approving 28 hours of vacation leave for Grace Mulhern.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? That's 5. Executive Order 2425-0405, an order approving 16 hours of vacation leave for Patty McKenna.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? That's 5. Executive Order 2425-0406, an order approving the attendance of Patty McKenna and Kurt Jackson to the International Code on Council Transit 2015 through 2021, training on 4/10/2025.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? That's 5. Executive Order 2425-0407, an order to approve the road name Misty Lane located at map 9, lot 23-5 and 23-7 near Berry and Long Plains Road.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? That's 5. Executive Order 2425-0409, an order approving the application of a veteran's exemption for map 3, lot 32B.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? All those in favor?
Yep.
4 with 1 abstaining. Executive Order 2425-04, we got 2 09s. Hunter?
Just go to the
Go
next
to, go
number.
to 010. Yeah, go to 010.
11.5.
11.
Yeah.
No, sorry. Go to 11-12. Go to 13.
13?
Yep.
Okay, Executive Order 2425-0413, in order to approve the hiring of Courtney Derry to the full-time position of firefighter EMT at the rate of $20.57 an hour, effective 4/4/2025.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? That's 5. Executive Order 2425-0410, in order to appoint Jeremy R. Ross of Buxton to the position of Saco River Corridor Commission member, alternate. Such appointment to be effective until November 1st, 2025.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? That's 5. Any executive orders by initiative? Accounts payable and payroll warrant. Executive Order 2425-0411, an order approving expenditures is documented in payroll warrant 79.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor? That's 5. And that amount was $108,763.49. Executive Order 2425-0412, an order approving expenditures is documented in accounts payable 80.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? That's 5. And that amount is $960,227.45, and that was a payment to the school. That's why it was so much. Next meeting of the boards. The next selectmen meeting will be Wednesday, April 9th, 2025 at 7 p.m. The next planning board meeting will be held Monday, April 14th, 2025 at 7 p.m. The selectmen will be meeting with the budget committee on Tuesday, April 8th, 2025. The selectmen will be meeting for police union negotiations on Thursday, April 17th. Any other business? Public questions and comments?
Dave, I'm in Buxton. I don't know if I brought it up a couple weeks ago about the lights out in the parking lot. I don't know if anybody saw them when they were driving out last week.
Yes, they were.
They were just like strobe lights out there.
That night that you talked about it, we went out and
Yeah.
you and I looked at them and they were all working, so.
No, I'm just saying that last week they were just like strobe lights out there, so I was observing it correctly. I wasn't filling you full of bull.
Yeah.
I had brought it up, I don't know how many months ago, and I don't know if this you said you talked to the fire chief about a billing issue. I don't know if this was the one on the grant money?
No, it was a different
Oh,
issue.
okay. I asked the grant matching, the town's matching of the grant for the fire truck. That was written out for the grant of the fire truck. And I believe there's been some other purchases made with that money that shouldn't have been made, and I'll leave it at that. You want to look into it?
No, I've heard what that is about, Dave, and I will just clarify, because I know what you're talking about, and I just want to make sure that, and so part of that grant money was to buy the fire truck and equip it. And part of that equipment process was that Nathan felt that he wanted to get a trailer to haul equipment to the fire. And so we felt that that fell within the equipment line, and we allowed him to buy a trailer to hook onto that fire truck in order to do so. And so that's what that was done, and so that wasn't done for, inappropriately. We felt that that was appropriate.
Okay, when those grants or the articles are written out, they're written out for something specific.
That's correct, and I believe if you look at the grant, it's for the fire truck and to equip that fire truck. And we felt that that
Okay,
fell
I'll
within
look at
that.
it again. I didn't think it said and equipped.
Yeah.
But that has nothing to do with the fire truck. That's a totally separate issue, the trailer. And now they're asking for a truck, a 3/4 ton truck, because a 1/2 ton truck, they said it doesn't tow good behind the 1/2 ton truck.
So to clarify that too as well, right now, the assistant fire chief has a vehicle that was part of an old cruiser here. It's of age, and so he was coming in to replace the current truck that we have That truck would then become our assistant chief, and the new truck then would be the employees, because of hauling hoses, they're heavy and things of that nature. And that's why we're upgrading to a 3/4 ton. And so that's what we're doing.
See the strobe lights. Back along, we used to have a solid waste committee. Why was that disbanded, or was that for something specific back when they had it, or?
So I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't remember a solid waste committee, but if I was to make an educated guess, the solid waste committee was probably put together when we had the Tri-County lawsuit against Merck. And the solid waste committee was put in place in order to negotiate a contract with Merck, which they did, which is ending this year. And so currently, we're looking at new solid waste avenues, because we're having to deal with that right now, because that contract ends in July 1st, I believe, or the end of January.
And I know at the budget committee meeting the other night, they were talking about paper bag. Just
Paper
curious.
bag, yeah.
Just curious, how would you do that if you got the trash cans? How are you supposed to know how many bags are in the can?
Well, it doesn't matter, because you pay for bag. And so what paper bag is that you can't just throw a regular bag in. You have to pay for the bag. So you go to the Hannaford, and you buy a box of bags, and you pay for those bags. You put one bag in the trash barrel or 10 bags in the trash barrel, you're paying by the bag.
It's really a moot point anyway.
Yeah, we're not-
We're
yeah, that was
pursuing
just-
that. That was
Yeah,
brought,
Mute point, yeah.
Yeah.
They were talking about it, it lasted
They-
half hour, 45 minutes last night,
Yeah.
so I don't believe it's a mute point.
yeah, it is a mute point because there's no one that I can find of that would support anything like that, so.
And I will agree that when the transfer station was built, it was built so that people could bring their trash in there. That's why it was built the way it was. So, all this other stuff about going up on the fees over there again and stuff like that. Transfer station was made to, after the contract is up, what is it, 2 more years, do they take the cans back and then we have to buy different ones if we go with somebody else? Or?
That's correct.
That's correct.
We just rented them. And to talk about the transfer station, right, so we were paying, so the public needs to know this, right? The contract that I was talking about was a multi-community lawsuit against Merck because of something. I can't remember exactly what it was. And so we got a deal where we were paying $81 a ton. The new contract coming in right now, we don't even have a contract. What we've been given for numbers is 107 per ton, and then 117 per ton. And so when you're saying that, the prices shouldn't go up at the transfer station, at the end of the day, he budgeted last year $101,000 to cover the cost at the transfer station. This year he's budgeting $138,000. So technically, the fees need to go up 37% in order to cover just what we're getting at the transfer station. Not talking curbside, I'm just talking transfer station. And so at the end of the day, I've already said this, that we need to just be solvent over there. So what people bring in, they should pay for what goes out, right? And we're not talking manpower, we're not talking the building, we're not talking any of that. We're just talking the weight of stuff, transportation, things of that nature. There's a cost to that, and there's no reason why someone who never goes to the transfer station should have to pay some of his property taxes to cover somebody who uses it every single day. That's unfair, in my opinion. And so we're not trying to make money off the guy that comes every day. It's a service that we provide, but at the end of the day, whatever we're collecting, it's his trash, he should be responsible for it. That's just how I feel.
Enough said about that, I guess. I guess that's it. Thank you.
Anybody else?
You gotta come up and at least say hi. It's the first time here.
Any executive sessions after this? No. I'll call for adjournment at 7:21.
So moved.
All those in favor? That's 5. Have a safe week.